Sports professor Rick Horrow inside the boardroom, beyond the scoreboard. We frequently talk on this show showcasing the trillion-dollar annual business of sports about what it takes to activate in a world that constantly changes as far as social media, corporate activation, and everything else. Corporate spending, broadly defined globally, has increased 17% over the past 3 years, more than any other sector other than philanthropy. We'll talk about philanthropy as well with Andres Barragan, CXO of Group 1001, Cambridge, and the affiliated companies. Before we even talk about Cambridge, first, how are you?
Very good, Rick.
Second of all, what the heck is CXO? Describe it for us.
So, Chief Experience Officer. Traditionally, Chief Marketing Officers focus on marketing. Chief Brand Officers on what the brand stands for, the visual identity, all that stuff. But ultimately, what you're trying to do with that is to build a connection with consumers, right? And now with a lot of services, particularly financial services in the space we're in, they're delivering this digitally. And therefore you need to create an experience that has a brand, has good marketing, advertising, but it's also thinking about holistically, about technology, the digital interface, other things. So I oversee all those different aspects.
Well, and you also wear many hats, and one of the hats is what you might call the traditional CMO, and it's a global development company. We'll talk about Group 1001 and its affiliates in a minute, but I find it interesting that the founder of the company and you together see so much value in the digital space that the title of choice is more digital than general marketing. Interesting.
Yeah, I think digital has the ability to democratize services, products, and we believe we're in the business of empowering people.
Right.
So digital helps us empower people through products that are, designed for growing your savings, protecting them, feeling empowered financially, and we take those principles and we apply them to philanthropy and corporate social responsibility as well.
In a lot of different ways. So Group 1001 is a relative new kid on the block. In an elevator speech, and it has time because it's a skyscraper, talk about Group 1001 and its affiliated entities and the retail brands. Sketch an organizational chart for us for a minute.
Yeah, sure. So we're an insurance holding company, which means that we have several, companies, subsidiaries. We are in the life insurance and annuity space, particularly annuities. And annuities, as you know, are products that are typically for all people, right? They need a stream of income. They buy an annuity because it's safe, and you know what you get. We believe that annuities are better for actually accumulation. Well, I wouldn't say better, but also are as good as retirement products. They're good for accumulation for all ages. And what we're trying to do is digitally expand distribution of the annuity products. And look into 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds as a way that they can save with deferred tax benefits, with rates that are guaranteed and are higher than CDs and savings accounts, but with their premium or principal protection that annuity brings to the table. So we have our traditional distribution companies, Delaware Life, Clear Spring, and others. And we have Cambridge and Relay on the new side, where we're building digital experiences. And that as a whole makes up Group 1001.
Probably fair to say, without any quantification to it, that in the financial space, you're one of the few growing companies that's relying on digital for distribution so significantly.
Well, I think it is a project for the future. I think that when you look at banking, when you look at loans, when you look at other categories in financial services, a lot of people use either a digital product or a hybrid, where sometimes you talk to a human being, sometimes you use a website, sometimes you use an app. But technology across all of it is very important. And it's not that we're trying to replace traditional distribution or disintermediate agents. Not at all. We're just bringing in a layer of technology that is making the experience, hence my title, better, more accountable, and with cost efficiencies for us, so that we can pass on those cost efficiencies as higher rates to people. And through simpler products and a digital interface, just make it available to everyone, empower everyone.
Empowerment takes many forms. You mentioned simpler product, and it also implies educated consumer, and I assume a smarter consumer is better for you, and frankly, it's better for the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a decade that we're all been learning more and more. We are better at managing our finances, better at finding hotels, better at finding good restaurants, better at traveling overall, and it's all because we're online. We're consuming content online. We're learning online. We're becoming more knowledgeable, and I believe that investors should pay attention. Or people should pay attention to money. I mean, money and health, right? They're high involvement categories. There's more information out there. There's the motivation to be better at it, and there's the resources to get better at it. So I think definitely the knowledgeable investor will make financial services industry grow and grow through digital service model.
Your business model is unique, and you're, again, the new kid on the block. But for a sports business show that this is, you're reaching consumers and moving the needles through a variety of different kind of sports that in many ways is embedded in CSR is very unique. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So we have our CSR venue to sort of put out there in the world our principles or our values, right? We believe that people need empowerment. It's infrastructure, education, and the way we can, give back and help the communities in which we operate is by empowering kids, right? And empowering them through sports and education. And therefore, we are involved with a series of partners in doing this, in rebuilding fields, in creating sports clinics, so that kids can learn through sports very important lessons: leadership, working in a team, a sense of belonging, all these things that will help them, give them a platform to stay in school, finish school, and then be, go out there and do their thing with a basis, right? So we invest a lot of time, a lot of money, and with a set of incredible partners. We are in the philanthropic side of things, believing that sports and education provide a platform for communities to, feel empowered. Now, we also believe that sports are a good platform to promote our products. And we have also a couple sponsorships out there with organizations and individuals who share our values of giving back, of working hard, of being methodical and disciplined.
Who are they? You can do it. Tell us who the sponsors are.
So we sponsor Zach Veach, an Andretti driver, IndyCar Andretti driver. He's the epitome of hard work and discipline and being steady and consistent. We also have a sponsorship with DC United, and we're looking into other avenues. I mean, the investor that we're catering to loves sports. And we believe in sports as a force of change in the community, so it all fits together really nicely.
And it fits together on the calendar as well, because the real coming out in many ways in the sports space is an Indianapolis-based company, founder based in Indianapolis, and the Indy 500 and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. One of the first things that you started philanthropically is to sponsor an LPGA event called the Indy Women in Tech Championship, which basically fueled a lot of women tech training programs. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think I can't believe I forgot to mention that we're sponsoring the Indy 500 race.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm here to ask you those questions. They're called, by the way, leading questions in the industry is what they're called.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously Indianapolis-based, so we have roots in Indianapolis, and we are involved in the community there. We've been involved in golf and with the Indy Women in Tech Foundation. We've sponsored a golf tournament. We also sponsored events in the city. And this is, by the way, this is all back to, empowering our communities through education, right? So we have STEM events that we run with kids in conjunction with Indy Women in Tech event that we run. So yeah, our involvement goes deep, and we believe in our local roots in Indianapolis.
And one more other piece, as far as the specifics of CSR, you believe that empowering kids takes a lot of forms. So obviously the training important, and that's what the Indy Women in Tech and Kids in Tech does. Fields and Futures in Oklahoma, where you've actually developed a field program, also the alliance with Cal Ripken to build 10 fields across the country. So you, and Zach, who has an incredible message in and of himself. So all of these messages, which I guess come back to empowerment at the core, are expressed in different ways.
Absolutely, you said it better than me. So
that's rare. I don't do that. But I will ask you one question as a day-to-day guy who basically runs the business. There's always a tension between, with a corporate social responsibility platform, between doing the right thing and maximizing ROI. How do you align yourself with that? How do you come out on all of that?
Well, Rick, I think that the principles that drive us to do business are the same principles that drive us to give back to the community. So it's this belief on discipline and consistency. Our products, what we sell to consumers, what we feel very proud that are excellent products for saving, are products that embody these principles. There's all these, get-rich-quick schemes, stories about people that took incredible risks, went all in, and succeeded. Well, that's not the majority of Americans. That's one in a million. And then what about the other 999,000 that didn't make it? Right. Really, America is about consistency, discipline, and staying the course, holding the line. That's what we do with our products. Those are the principles, the same principles of consistency and discipline that a guy like Zach Veach applies to driving a race car and winning races. It's the same principles about providing this platform that give kids a way to apply themselves consistently against something to raise their game. So honestly, Rick, we do this because we believe in it. It's obviously good for business. Consumers want to be able to relate to a brand, and they relate to brands and companies that do the right thing and that share their values. So I think that we believe in empowerment through consistent, disciplined, hard work. Our products empower that mentality. All our efforts in philanthropy are about that. So I think it comes relatively easy.
And then finally, every business and leadership book you ever read talk about the the leader of the organization, creating the vision, nurturing the vision, implementing the vision. Dan Towers founded this organization, and it's been a meteoric rise in the organization itself. But what's it like following his vision?
I think we have clarity in terms of what we want to do. We know what we're good at. We know what we need to get better at, and we're building capabilities and consistently going after them while retaining flexibility of a small organization. We're not a bureaucratic organization. We're not siloed. We have constant communication. We work well together. So Dan and I, we work excellently together. We're aligned on what we're going to accomplish, and it's great working with him.
Well, and it's a wonderful organization, a wonderful vision. And I will tell you, in the 900 years that I've actually been doing this is the first CXO I've ever interviewed, and it may be the last, but not because you don't deserve it. Dan, it's a great vision of Dan's, and of course Andres Barragan, the CXO of the Group 1001 family of companies. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rick.